In this video, we're going to cover the installation, setup, and configuration of the Fundraiser plugin. So the first thing we want to do is have a working WordPress site so that we can get started. Now, I've included a written manual, and inside of that manual there are instructions for finding out how to install WordPress on almost any web host. And it's as simple as finding the WordPress 5-minute install. Alternatively, you can use the Softalicious or Fantastico scripts that are included with some server hosts. You'll find them in the server script section of your control panel. But those are generally not very secure. The 5-minute install is the best way to install WordPress. But once you have WordPress installed, you're ready to install the plugin. Now, just a note, you need to have WordPress 3.9 or greater. If you'd like to accept funds, which obviously you do, we need to use PayPal. However, there is a manual mode included in the plugin that will allow you to accept, let's say, checks or money orders to an address. Now, you can use this plugin with Multisite 3.9x or BuddyPress 2.0x. Now, you do need to understand a bit of WordPress in order to make this work for you, but no worries, WordPress is pretty easy, and you can find some basic reviews by just Googling for the WordPress Quick Start Guide. So I've set up a quick demo, and I've logged into my admin panel, and that's simply your address /wp-admin. And then you go over to Plugins and select Add New. And then you select Upload, and then you browse, select Choose File, and browse to the plugin zip file that's contained on your hard drive that you downloaded off of the thank you page. And once you've selected your file, you go ahead and click Install Now. Once installed, select Activate. And now the plugin is active and we can start configuring it. And you should see it over here in the WordPress admin menu on the left. So just a quick overview. All Fundraisers is a list of all the fundraisers that we have. New Fundraiser creates a new fundraiser. Pledges are where you can manually add pledges of payments for any fundraiser. And Settings is where we'll do our configuration. And then the plugin has a handy quick start guide to help you set this thing up and get up and running pretty quickly. So as you can see, I've already added a few fundraisers. This will give us how many pledges have been made. This will tell us how much money we've raised. Here's the title and some quick edit options. It'll tell you whether or not it's a donation or a crowdfunding project and how much time is left and whatever comments are included. Now next we have New Fundraiser. Pretty simple stuff. We add a new fundraiser, a title, some descriptions, a image, and then we select what kind of type we would like. And we can do a simple donation, which is a straight, almost like they're purchasing a product. They donate, that money is withdrawn from their PayPal account and transferred to yours. Or an advanced crowdfunding donation type. And that allows you to reach your goal of, let's say, $1,000. And once that goal is reached, everyone who donated to this cause will have that amount deducted from their account. But only if you reach your goal and towards the end of the fundraising campaign. So, just to recap, simple donations is an instant transfer of funds, whereas advanced donations or advanced crowdfunding is a delayed payment once the goal is reached. Now, pledges allow us to make manual payments or promises of payments to whatever fundraiser we would like. So as you see here, I promised $45,000 for a manual payment to Luther's Martian Gravity Assist fundraiser, since I would like to go check out some asteroids near Martian orbit, and it's backed by Jeb at Kerbin.k. Right, just some example stuff, just to show you how this actually fits. Now under Settings, we set our currency, and there are a whole bunch of currencies available to us, plus our currency symbol position, whether we want to show our decimal in our prices, and then allowed fundraiser types. By default, both of these are disabled. You would need to enable one of them in order to use this plugin. Simple donations is the easiest way to integrate with PayPal. You simply check this box, and when you do, it'll give you just this simple payment option. Now I'm running it in sandbox mode right now that allows us to test and not actually withdraw any funds. But when you're ready to take funds, you would need to switch it to live. Now, I detail the instructions on how to do this inside of the manual, so be sure to check this out. But you would log into your PayPal account, go to My Selling Tools into IPN or Instant Payment Notification settings, and place your URL for the IPN in the appropriate box. Again, I detail that in the instructions, in the written instructions, so please make sure you check those out. And then you would put your PayPal email address here, and then if you wanted to have an optional image at the checkout for PayPal, you would place the URL to that image here. Now, if you use the advanced crowdfunding, remember crowdfunding is where we must reach a particular goal, a monetary goal, before any of the donations are actually billed and you receive the funds, or the client or charity receives the funds. Once you actually do check this box, you will get the options, advanced payment options here. This is where you'll set your PayPal email address, your currency, and then you will go into PayPal and supply the API credentials, which includes a username, password, and signature. And then you will also need to apply for an application ID from PayPal. Now this can take several days to a week or two to actually get approved. And inside of the written manual, I've provided a step-by-step instructions with some details on how to get this approved. So I recommend that you read that as soon as you can. And once you're done, just make sure you hit Save Changes. Generally, a simple donation scheme is the best. Simple is always better, but I know that crowdfunding is a great way to raise money. So do not dismiss the crowdfunding option. Make sure you check out the manual and see how to set that up. And if you have any trouble with the application ID, the best source of help would be the PayPal support. But of course, you can contact our support. If you get stuck, you need some help or guidance, we'll be there for you. And that's at whitewavesupport.com, www.whitewavesupport.com. And now over to the next tab. In presentation, we can set our menu name. We can identify or change the labels for supporters. And then, of course, reward labels if you wanted to call them something else, plus fundraiser labels and any pledges that you might want to change the name to. And then the checkout presentation, how you want to change this. You can also specify if you want to do unique checkouts per fundraiser. And then the default style, there are several built-in styles. And of course, you get the option to create your own custom style using CSS, which you'll enter here in this box. A cool feature of this plugin is the ability to assign permissions to various user roles. This will allow you to have staff, customers, clients, or whatnot manage their fundraisers. And if you're building a more general site, this will also allow you to have the different ability to have moderators, people to approve fundraisers, and whatnot. And it is as simple as checking off the box for the user role that you want to assign these permissions. Just make sure you don't give subscribers the ability to manage other users' fundraisers. And in the last tab, the other tab, this will give us our permalink settings, and this is where we can find our different links and whatnot for our fundraisers. And you see here, this is a stub, and this is where your fundraiser name would be, and your checkout page would be pledge, your thank you page would be thank you, and of course, your name would be in here. And these are just so you could actually change these if you wanted to. If you wanted to call this something else or pledge or thank you, this will change it across the whole site. Now, this is a good thing to mention at this screen is that if you want to use this, you will need to set your permalink settings under settings, permalinks. And you make sure that it is set to post name. And once it is set to post name, this feature will be enabled. Now this plugin also includes a bunch of widgets we can use, and they are the fundraiser panel, which will display, you put there on the sidebar, it will display the funding information and donation links for that particular fundraiser. So it automatically pulls it based on what fundraiser is being displayed. And then you have a fundraiser list, which is a simple text list of each fundraiser available on the site. You have a pledge button that will allow you to take simple donations for any fundraiser. And then you have another one to display the recent fundraisers that have been entered into the system. Now, the plugin also has shortcodes that you can use to call the various functions of the Fundraiser plugin, and those are available in Getting Started. So go ahead and head over here, Getting Started, and you'll see not only is there a quick start, first time setup guide that'll walk you through setting everything up and setting up a fundraiser and checking out all the widgets, but there are also fundraiser shortcodes that you can call from any page or post, and that'll be located above the text editor for each page or post. And these shortcodes are pretty easy to work with. The help is built right into the plugin, and then if you do need to restart the tutorial, just go ahead and click this button here. Adding a fundraiser is really easy. Just click New Fundraiser up here on the fundraiser list, or here in the menu, New Fundraiser, and that'll take you to the New Fundraiser screen. Let's create an example, and I'll show you the process. Okay, so we created a mock fundraiser, and it's going to help us build a HAL 9000, which is a artificial intelligence from a science fiction movie. I'm sure some of you have heard of it. But we filled in a title, put in a description, and the other training materials will tell you how best to populate a description and sell an actual fundraiser. For example, we just put this here. Set a featured image. We'll go ahead and drag a little picture of Hal that we found. Set that as our featured image. Okay, we've created an example, filled in a title, pulled in a description, and the other training materials will help you write descriptions and help sell this fundraiser. But for demo purposes, we'll just work with this. And then since we don't have an advanced API set up for PayPal, we'll just go ahead and use the simple donations. Now, word of caution, once you set this for any given fundraiser, you cannot change it. You would have to create another fundraiser. But for now, select simple donations and hit Save Funding Type. Now, if you get this pop-up, don't worry. Just select Leave this page, and it will provide us more options. Now you see the type is set to simple donations. You can choose a style, and there's some preset styles, or you can use the custom style that we specified in settings. You can allow reoccurring donations, and those are whether or not people want to make donations every day or week or month or year, so they don't have to come back and sign up. And then you can tell the plugin where to display the actual donations features and whatnot. You can do that above the content or below the content, and for this example we'll put it below, and it will appear below this content. Now we set our goals, so we can say starting today and ending in, I don't know, say the 30th of September, we want to raise $500,000. So we set a goal of $500,000, and then we want to set up some rewards. So we hit yes for rewards, and we can choose. If somebody donates $10, and let's make 200 of those available. And then let's say $100, and we'll make 100 of those available. And then 1,000, 50, and then 10,000, 25. And what we want to do is let them know what kind of reward they're going to get for each of these funding levels. Okay, so I added some reward descriptions, and when someone chooses to donate on this amount, it'll offer them this reward. And you'll see that in just a moment. But now in order to deliver our reward, let's say we had something tangible, we want to be able to collect their physical address and let them know why. This way, hey, why am I entering my address here? It is so that they can receive their reward if it's something tangible like a patch or a hat or a shirt or whatnot. And we can add a thank you message after they've donated, and then a confirmation email, select yes, and this will send an email confirmation to the individual who donated. And you can of course customize this message and put whatever you'd like in here. After that is set, you are ready to go. You could set of course you could set an image if you'd like. But if not, let's go ahead and let's choose a dark style here just so it stands out, and we'll click publish. And now once it's published, we see we have our address, we have our fundraiser progress, and this is a progress bar built in, and everything seems to be all set. So why don't we go ahead and check out this fundraiser. And there it is. Help us build HAL 9000. Our text description, how many backers we have, which are none right now, how much money we've raised out of our goal. This is a progress bar. And then this particular sidebar, we need to play around a little bit with the CSS, but you see it's taking up a little bit too much room. Generally, we like to put this down here at the bottom. But you see here, choose an amount you want to make a donation for, and then your frequency, and then you can choose which section or which funding level the person wants to make, and of course I'll let them know how many of those are left and what will be sent to the individual. It's important to note that this is just the fundraiser. Now, if you want to display these on, let's say, a page, you have to use a shortcode to draw them in, and that will completely format the fundraiser on the page. So if you see here, I set up a school project to build a helicopter, and you see you have your goals here, and then you have a box, and this is one of the other styles that you have. And the person just selects this, say, hey, donate $10, just do it once, hit back this project, and it'll take them to PayPal to check them out. If you have a crowdsourcing, such as Luther's Mission to Mars, see here I made a pledge, and that donated 45 grand manually to the goal of $25 billion for Luther's Inner Solar System tour. And then of course you have a timer here, a day left, and you can of course choose to donate another 50,000 or whatnot amount of dollars to the system and allow Luther to go to outer space. Really simple stuff, and will certainly allow you to set up a quick donation site, a crowdsourcing site, or perform this as a service for charities or clients or businesses. And that'll wrap up this overview video. Please check out the written manual. I provide a lot of detail there to help you set things up. If you have any questions, please contact us, www.whitewavesupport.com, and we'll talk again real soon.